assume that we are given the following function that we're gonna call h of x, and it's given by square root of x plus 1. Okay, so what's the range of this function? Okay, so first, what's the domain? The domain is the set of values that would make this one true, the square root of x true. So the positive values, so anything inside the square must be positive. So this is the domain. So we can write it this way: 0 plus infinity. Okay, another way of writing it is we can say it's r plus. It is good notation to remember. Okay, so now what's the range of this function? We can do it both graphically and by algebraically, using algebra. Graphically, we know that this function is just the square root of x shifted 1 unit. So it's this one here. So this is 1. So when x is 0, so we have 1. Okay, so this is the square root of x plus 1. This is our x-axis. This is our y-axis. So the range here is for each x, there is some value. So the set of values that we hit, or sometimes it's just project the points in the graph on the y-axis and see what you get. So if you do project them here, what you get? You get 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the range in this case is, so the range is 1 plus infinity. So this is here. So we can graphically, it starts from 1 and it goes, okay, goes up. So this is a graphical reasoning giving us the range for this function. If we want to do it algebraically, we can say that we know that x is greater or equal than 0 because that's the domain of the function. Okay, so we take the square root. So taking the square root of both sides, we get square root of x is bigger than the square root of 0. Why? Because the square root is an increasing function. So an increasing function, as we said last time, if we have x less than y, then f of x is less than f of y. So here, given our x, and this is, let's call it a, do not confuse it with these x's and y. So let's get a and b. So we see a is less than b, so the image of a is less than the image of b. So the image of a is here, so it's h of a, this is h of b. So here we have a less or equal than b, and h of a is less or equal than h of b. So that means our function is increasing, okay? The values, and we see it in the graph. So the graph keeps increasing, okay? So the square root is increasing. That means, so x is bigger than 0, then the square root of x is greater than the square root of 0, and the square root of 0 is 0. So we have the square root of x is bigger than 0. Now we add 1 to both sides to get square root of x plus 1 is bigger than 1. So what our function is, h of x is square root of x plus 1. So here we have h of x is bigger than 1. And what's h of x? Is just y. So y is bigger than 1. So that means the set of values for y are bigger than 1. So it's here, graphically, the y values are bigger than 1. So that means that our range is 1 plus infinity. Okay? So this is a proof using algebra. It's good to know how to do it. And this is a graphical proof. So it's good to do it as well. So you need to know both of them and maybe more, so you can deal with some cases when you don't have the graph, or some case where you have the graph. But for now, the domain is 0 plus infinity, and the range is 1 plus infinity. We did them both graphically and algebraically. Thank you.